Welcome to the Newsbox. I'm your host, your friendly neighborhood J-Man. We start this edition of the Newsbox off with a quick tribute to wrestling great Rowdy Roddy Piper. Now look, I haven't followed wrestling in a couple of years, so I'm not even going to try and come off as some sort of expert or big follower or anything like that. But I did watch those wrestling shows on Saturday mornings right after the cartoons way back in the 80s. I remember how much I hated Piper when I was a kid. Man, did Piper get on my nerves dissing guys like Jimmy Superfly Snuka and Bruno Sammartino in the Piper's Pit. Rowdy Roddy Piper was a total jerk. In other words, he was a great heel. I didn't know the man personally or professionally for that matter, but he did his job and he did it well. As a friend of mine said on Facebook, rest in power, Rowdy Roddy Piper. Rest in power. Okay, onward. Let's talk a little back and forth. A little, is he or isn't he? Early last week, it was being reported by everyone, and my mother included, that actor Channing Tatum was walking away from his prize role in Fox's upcoming Gambit movie. I know, right? But lo and behold, it all turned out to be a ruse, because the Hollywood Reporter reported since then that the actor ended up signing a deal with Fox. Out of nowhere, really. The problem in negotiations, the back end of the deal. Back end negotiations are always terse and often lead to tears. So I understand. Also in the news last week, Empire magazine released a slew of stills from Warner Brothers' 2016 release Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. The images included yet another look in Batman and his Superman ass-kicking armor, Superman rummaging through what the image title said was Wayne Manor, and this image of Lex. I don't know. I don't know what to make of Lex. I like my Lex Luthor as arrogant, egotistical, and more than a bit ruthless. This one seems to have none of those qualities, sadly. Empire also released a few behind-the-scenes images from the movie as well. All in all, I'm feeling much more optimistic about Batman vs. Superman, especially since the release of the San Diego Comic-Con trailer, even with this as the antagonist. Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice is set to be unleashed onto theaters March 25th, 2016. Staying with movies coming out early in 2016, Deadpool's first trailer was finally released onto the internets. Debuting on Conan's show, the trailer was 2+ minutes of typical Deadpool meta-ness.
And please don't make the super suit green or animated.
I've said it before, and I will say it again right here. I hope that Deadpool does for Ryan Reynolds what Iron Man did for Robert Downey Jr. I may be a bit forward here, but based on that trailer, I'd like to thank Reynolds in advance for hanging in there all these years and making the Deadpool movie that we all deserve. The movie will be hitting theaters just in time for Deadpool's 25th anniversary in February 2016. Yes, it's been 25 years since the Merc with a Mouth debuted in the New Mutants number 98. In the meantime, Marvel Comics is sending Peter Parker back to school, but whatever you do not call it a reboot, setting us up for the debut of the new cinematic Spider-Man played by Tom Holland in Captain America: Civil War. Marvel is releasing a new all-ages comic book called Spidey. Written by Robbie Thompson and penciled by Nick Bradshaw, the new book will recount Pete's early days as Spider-Man, heading back into territory once called by creator Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, but with a modern twist, of course. And finally, I'm happy to report that the DC Universe has seen the last of the reboots. That's not me saying it, that comes from DC Comics co-publisher Dan Didio. In a recent interview with Comic Book Resources, Didio is quoted as saying, "Our goal is to never be in a position where we are relaunching a line ever again, quite the opposite. What we really want to do is build on what we created from the launch of the New 52, take what existed beforehand, integrate that in to give us the best interpretations of the characters that organically move forward and are all part of one big continuity that is DC Comics." It's an admirable goal, if not a bit unrealistic, especially since comic book readers tend to get older while the characters do not. You gotta give DC Comics credit though. Never rebooting the DCU again is one tall order if you ask me. But you didn't. So I'm out of here. the Newsbox. You give us about 5 minutes and we'll give you a dearth of useless information. Hey, your friendly neighborhood J-Man here. Don't forget to check me out on all your favorite social media. I'm on the Twitter, the Facebook, and the Google+. In between trolling your favorite celebs, you can also find me on the website the-newsbox.com and every Monday on the Fanboy Factor podcast at fanboyfactor.com.